Happy Crafternoon, everyone. I am Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all over the US and all around the world. Today, I am going to be showing you something really fun and something that has been on my wish list forever. And I talked to ThermOWeb about this, and they told me they would do it for me. And it took a little while to get it done, but I am so excited to share it today. So this is the perfect little thing, down the line, if you place an order and you just need to add a little something to get the incentive set or to get the free shipping. We have something really cool now called Masking Magic Strips. Masking Magic Strips. So this wonderful masking magic that everybody raves about for masking and all kinds of masking techniques. Now we have them in strips, and I can't wait to show you everything here. And I'm going to show you a bunch of things that you can do with them. And but before we do that, I think we should say hello to Tom. Hey.
Another crafternoon.
Yes. How are you?
I am much better than horrible today. And gosh, we've got people from Ireland, hello, Ireland, Dublin, New Zealand, wow, California, Canada. One of these days, we're going to get on here and there will be people from the International Space Station crafting in space.
Well, what else are they going to do up there?
And luckily, and with their luck, you'll be doing glitter that day.
Yeah. It'll just be everywhere. Oh, that's so funny. Well, it's so great. Isn't it exciting to think that we're all together? The Netherlands, I just saw, Finland, oh my gosh, all over. And then all around here, Wisconsin and Michigan and California and everywhere. Isn't it just so, Croatia, isn't it so cool that we're all together all over the world and we're all together? Like just a bunch of really good friends crafting together. I love that. Yeah. Well, thanks for noticing that, Tom. The comments go by so quickly for me. And a lot of times I have my head down and I don't get to see all of where everybody's from and everything. So it is wonderful to see you. Now I'm going to say this up front, Tom. We're going to, as long as I get a card made today, because I do want to show a bunch of different techniques, as long as we get a card made today, we always give away our cards. And the way to get a card, the way to enter to win the card of the day is to just leave a comment. So if you leave a comment, you say hi, tell us where you're from, tell us what you like, help us decide on colors, all that kind of stuff. You are automatically entered to win whatever card I come up with today. Oh, I saw Simon Hurley here. Hey, Simon, I used your stamping foam in my last video, and that was super fun. So if you haven't seen that one, check it out on my YouTube channel. It'll be the one posted right before this one, and I show you how to use Simon's stamping foam with our new kit. Very, very fun. All right, everybody. Well, let's take a look at the overhead because I want to show you what we're using today. So here is our original Masking Magic. And I know lots of you love this product. This is great to stamp an image and cut it out and then use it for masking so you can stamp other things on top of it and it will appear as though they're behind it. It's also great for cutting shapes out like our Master Layouts. Let me find it here. Our Master Layouts 9 die set. I know that's here somewhere. Oh my gosh, nothing's in order, but our Master Layouts 9 die set. This whole set is to create masks that you can put on your paper and then ink into either the open holes or around the outsides to create really nice blends that you can stamp into. Masking Magic is also amazing for cutting into strips, and I've done that many, many times before. But a lot of times when I'm cutting the strips, I don't get them perfectly even, and I feel like I waste Masking Magic here and there. And so what I decided to beg ThermOWeb for is strips. Will you please do strips for me? And they said, sure, we would be happy to do that. Hi, Jennifer. I see Jennifer McGuire's here. They asked me what sizes I want. And I said, well, I want a lot of sizes because I like doing a strip across the card where you can ink blend and then peel the strip away and have an open space to stamp a greeting, a strip sentiment. So I want 1/2 inch strips. And I said, but 1/2 inch is too big for a lot of the techniques. So I definitely have to have 1/4 inch strips because I do 1/4 inch borders around my cards. So I want 1/4 inch. And I said, yeah, but what about all the techniques I do when I create like open spaces to stencil in and to do crisscross design? So I want 1/8 inch strips. So they said, how about if we do them all? And I said, yes, I love you so much. So they did all of them. And then instead of doing them in separate packs, we have one big assorted pack here, which I think is the best way because then you can do all the techniques and you don't have to buy 3 separate packs. So let me show them to you. I'm so excited. This is our regular Masking Magic paper, right? It comes in a sheet. It's got the big turquoise Masking Magic on the back, and it's got one opening down the middle so that you can peel the liner off, the liner paper off. Well, these Masking Magic strips come in 3 sizes, and then of course ThermOWeb, they're brilliant because I didn't think about this. They did each backing in a different color so it's easy to see. So these red ones are 1/4 inch strips, and I know it's going to be really hard for you to see them here, but I'll just peel one so you can see perfect 1/4 inch strips. Isn't that amazing? I love it. So you've got 2 sheets or 3 sheets of 1/4 inch strips because I told them I use the 1/4 inch a lot. So you've got 3 sheets of those. You've got 3 sheets of 1/2 inch strips, which I love this size too. And I asked them to do a little extra of these only because they're bigger. So you're getting, 1/2 as many of the bigger strips on here. And then 2 sheets of the 1/8 inch strips. And look at these little baby strips. If you can't cut 1/8 inch strips by yourself with a paper cutter, look at that. Isn't that awesome? 1/8 inch strips. So I just love this. If it's hard for you to cut them into 1/8 inch strips, and it is for me, I have to admit that I cut them and then a bunch of them just never go anywhere because they're not even. So now you've got them in strips. Okay, so I thought it would be fun today for me to show you a bunch of different ways to use the Masking Magic strips. And then I'll pick one of the things that I make and I'll turn it into a card. Does that sound fair? Okay, so let me start with a piece of white cardstock here. And I got to find my paper cutter. Here's my paper cutter. Okay, I'm going to cut this piece of cardstock down to 3.5 inches by 4 3/4 inch. Now you can also do this with master layouts too to get the decorative edge, but because I'm going to do ink blending on it, I probably would have started with a bigger piece and then, gone back and cut it out with the die later. But just for the sake of today's video, I'm just cutting quick with the paper cutter. So let me zoom in a little bit here.
Where can they buy those?
Oh, you can buy them in our store. And I also linked them already here in the video. So if you go right to the description in the video screen below, you'll see the link and it'll take you to both kinds of Masking Magic. Okay. So let's start with these really tiny little baby ones. The 1/8 inch strips. All right, so I'm going to peel a 1/8 inch strip off. Don't you love? You don't have to cut them. And I'm going to go from one corner down to the opposite corner. All right, and then I'm just going to tape that down. Then I'm going to grab another one, and I'm just going to kind of eyeball this because I'm going to make a lattice background here. So I'm just eyeballing it. And remember, you can reuse Masking Magic. Once you peel it up, all you have to do is tape it back onto the package like this, right back onto the package. And then if you want to use it again, just pick it up. Okay, I probably should have taped it closer to the edge, but all you have to do is pick it back up and you can reuse it. Masking Magic is reusable. Now, at some point, it gets a little bit, not so usable anymore, and you have to just get a new piece, but you can reuse these. All right, so I'm putting this one here, then I'm just going to pull the rest of that one off. See, it's terrible too, which I love. Not terrible, terrible. Which if you're from the Midwest, that's actually the same word, right, Tom?
That's right.
Okay, And I'm going to put one up here. See, I'm just eyeballing. Nothing special. I'm not measuring anything. You can kind of see this one might be a little close. Hey, if you don't like it, pick it up. It's masking magic. It won't tear your paper. You can move it exactly where you want it. I love masking magic. Thank you, ThermOWeb. If anybody from ThermOWeb is watching, thank you so much for making my masking dreams come true. You guys rock. Okay, so you see I'm just going to tear that piece off there, and I'm going to use it right up here. Let's see if I have enough room. Yep, there we go. Okay, now I can do a tiny little bit more down here. Everybody's laughing at my Midwest joke, but it's true. I live out here. I know. Okay, I'm just putting a little piece right there, just tearing it off. And another little piece right up here and just tearing it off. Okay, I'll save this one for more small pieces. Now I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to create some stripes going this way. And I always just start corner to corner because then I know everything's going to line up really nicely. And then the rest is just an eyeball kind of thing. Let's peel this one up and fix that a little bit. There we go. Okay. I love this technique for a background. It's super fun and it's really pretty when you're doing floral designs to have a background like this. Okay, there's the second one. And again, we're not worried about it being perfect. We are throwing perfection out the window. Like Tom said, better than horrible, right, hon?
That's the standard here.
It really is. The standard, better than horrible, with Gina K designs. Okay, so I'm using that little piece there. I might move that. But you don't have to, but I think I will just because it really stands out to me as being further away than the rest. And not that much further away, actually. There we go. Oh, no. I got to move that up a little bit. I forgot I can turn my paper and make it easier on myself. There we go. Oh, not even straight. You know, how many did I do already? And I can't do this last one. Just now's a good time to like go to the bathroom if you have to. Just kidding. Don't leave me. I'll get better. I get better as I go along. All right. And then this little leftover piece, put a little one there. Okay, so what color should we do? I think we should do like maybe a Kraft. We'll make this a very neutral autumny background. So Kraft would be a good color for this. Okay. Again, let's see how good I am at lining this up. Looks pretty good. And then this one here. And then one last little piece. I don't know what was wrong with that one up there. I think I was freaking myself out. Okay, so now I've got my lattice. And remember, these are, is it available on the ThermOWeb website? Because I have a list. I believe it is. Yeah, I think so. But I know it's available at our site. Okay, so now I'm going to get my Kraft ink pad. Let me find it here. Alrighty. Okay. Now I'm going to use my brown blending brush. This blending brush I use for Kraft. I use it for browns. I think I already used it for some browns. So thank you, Polly. She said, no way will I leave you. I appreciate it. I'm just going to brush off any excess here just to make sure it doesn't contaminate what I'm doing here. And I'm going to ink up my blending brush. If you hear a woodpecker, it's my ink stand. It's my ink pad going back and forth here. And now I'm going to do just a nice even blend over this entire thing. And what I like is around the edges of the masking magic, it catches the ink just a little darker. So it gives a little bit of dimension in here too. as opposed to maybe just stamping a diamond pattern or embossing a diamond pattern. Can you see how cool this is looking? Now, honestly, this Masking Magic is so pretty that you could leave it on here and just trim around the outside, and that will give you a whole other look. So if you want the darker lattice like that, you could leave them on here. They'll stay on the card. So maybe some of you haven't thought about using Masking Magic as actually part of your card project. But you could definitely do that and just trim it up, and you've got this beautiful lattice background. But I want to show you how cool it looks to actually, you know, have the white lines in there instead of these dark brown lines. But it is really pretty, isn't it, in the dark brown? Okay. There we go. I'm just adding more ink because why not? Now, I think I'm going to add a little bit of turquoise in here, and I'm just going to use whatever's left on this turquoise brush. Just a little bit here and there. So there's not much left on here, but it gives it a really pretty shading. Can you guys see any of that? Can they see that a little bit, Tom?
I think so.
A little bit of that turquoise coming through. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with a little bit of green. I don't know what color green's on my brush, but whatever color green is on my brush, that's the color we're going to use. And this brown that's underneath there, the Kraft, just kind of makes those colors more subtle, makes them more autumny feeling. So a little bit of green in here. Just to give it a neat autumny feel.
You're using ink that you used like yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, whatever ink is left on the brush. I didn't clean the brushes. I just picked it up. It could be fresh asparagus. It could be jelly bean. Whatever's left, that's what I'm using. Because I don't want a lot of color. I just want a mist of that color. And yeah, it looks very antique, exactly. Okay, so now if we want to keep these Masking Magic strips, all we have to do is just stick them back onto the package. So let me find the package.
It's like crafting leftovers.
Crafting leftovers, exactly. So I'm taking them off in the order that I put them on. In other words, the ones that are in this direction, I'm taking off first, and you can just save them so you can use them later, see? But I do like the way that looks actually without, I mean, by leaving the Masking Magic on. But if I want to make another card, then I need to reuse my Masking Magic, or I could use new Masking Magic. But look at the bright white. Isn't that pretty? And the edges are so crisp and no tearing, right? So we're just going to gently smooth these back out. And you can see I'm just keeping them all. And these are the fun things to do. You know, when somebody says, what do I do? I don't have any mojo. I can't seem to get into my paper crafting right now. Sometimes it's just really important to play. You don't have to go out and find another hobby. You don't have to, you know, give up and start selling your stuff. Just do something without the intention of making anything. You know what I'm saying? Just, I'm not going to make a card today. I'm just going to play and see what kind of background I can come up with. It's very relaxing to do this, and you take all the pressure off of yourself by not having to create something and finish something. So I'm just saving all these. Okay. Love this. Okay, almost done. I'm just taking a little extra time because I'm trying to save them. And I want to show you that you really can, because people don't always believe me and they say, well, you just throw yours away. Quite often I do, because when I'm making a video, I want to show you from the start what something looks like. And I really don't want to use something that's used like a piece of Masking Magic. But even so, isn't that just a cool little border? That's just a cool border for a card. So you could put that on something else. That's why it's kind of fun to save these little bits and pieces. And look how pretty that blend is with that Kraft and a little hint of blue in there and a little hint of green. And there's all my strips for my next card. So isn't that fun? So pretty. Nice and crisp. And, you know, I just saw Charlene say that her granddaughter is 7 and has her own Gina K stuff. That's so awesome. But, you know, your granddaughter, like kids, love Masking Magic because it's so easy to work with and the paper doesn't tear. So it's not frustrating. It doesn't ruin their projects. Yeah, I like that. So that's something you can do with Masking Magic. Now, something else that you can do with Masking Magic is, let me find another. Oh, I don't have, where's my white cardstock? Let me get some white cardstock here. I'll cut a few sheets down. So that's one thing. Let me cut half and then we'll get some quarter sheets here. So I'll cut another 3.5 by 4 3/4 inch sheet. Again, you could cut this with Master Layouts too to get the little decorative edge. But let's move to the 1/4 inch ones. So here are the 1/4 inch ones. They have the red background. Okay. So this is something I love to do all the time. I love to create this border around the edge of my card. It prevents you from needing an extra layer. And I love to do ink blending in here. And I love the way it looks when you pull the Masking Magic off, how that border is just so pretty and crisp. And you can also, I don't know what that is on my card, but we're not going to worry about it because this is just for the sake of showing how to use it. All right. Alrighty. So very simple to do. You've seen me do this so often. I do this in my 5-minute card videos a lot because it's so fast and easy to do. So let's do some just soft ink blending like we're going to create a sky. So we'll start with, we'll get some Turquoise Sea. We'll get some Innocent Pink, shall we? Innocent Pink. We'll get a little purple, a little Wild Lilac, and a little peach Bellini in there, okay? So let's start at the top with some Turquoise Sea. And we'll just do like a sunset kind of look. So we'll start here at the top, make sure everything's down, and we'll do a very, very light blend of Turquoise Sea. Now, I always use Gina K Designs layering weight white cardstock for my ink blending. I think it gives you absolutely flawless ink blending. That and the combination of the smoothing agent and our ink really, really makes it easy to blend. Okay, so we've got some Turquoise Sea. We can go a little darker up here. In fact, if you really want to make it look like dusk, we can add a little bit of blue denim right at the top. We'll do that right at the end. Okay, so there's some Turquoise Sea. Now we're going to go to Innocent Pink. So I will have to clean my pink blending brush because I know I've got a lot of Passionate Pink and other pinks on here that are going to be really bright. So I'm going to get rid of as much of that as possible. So I just use a paper towel to do this. Okay. Now we'll get some Innocent Pink on here. And we're just going to come in from the side, just like this, and add that pink. See how light I'm going? I'm going super light. And then I'm going up into that blue just a little bit. And a little heavier down here. Okay. Now over this line between them, I'm going to add just a hint of purple. So I'm using Wild Lilac. You could also use Lovely Lavender if you're afraid that you might be too heavy-handed. I know I couldn't always get the strips cut either perfectly straight. So See, I rubbed all that wild lilac off of there. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to use this same brush without even inking it up now. That's just going to give me a real nice mist of color in here. Okay. All right. Now I can go back with my Turquoise Sea and blend over that line between them. And now I'm going to do peach down here. Okay. This isn't a very extensive ink blending class in any way, but I'm just kind of giving you my thought process as I go. So I'm going to use my orange blending brush. This is my orange family brush. I'm going to get rid of whatever's on there. And you know, a lot of times I will not worry too much if I've got too much sweet mango in here. And then I'm going to go to peach Bellini because it's going to create a brand new color between them, but it's going to look great. I don't worry so much. And I think that's the important thing about crafting is not to worry so much. Just let the colors do what they do. So this is peach Bellini I'm using on my orange blending brush. I'm going to come from the bottom up this time. So we'll bring that color in from the bottom. Like this, right into that pink. Really soft. And then I'm going to go back over. I can go heavy right at the horizon here. And then I'm going to go back over that with my pink and get more pink in there. All right. Now, I told you guys, like, to make it look really more like a sunset versus a sunrise, let's get this dark blue blending brush here. So this is for my blues. This one's for my turquoises. This is for my blues. Now, I think I either have in the navy or blue denim on here, probably blue denim. You can see that's a little blue denim. I'm not going to ink up my brush. I'm just going to use this blue denim. If you don't have a blue denim brush and you want some blue denim on there, ink up your brush and then rub a little bit of it off on your paper towel just so your blending brush doesn't have a lot of ink on it. And I'm just coming in on the side and the top here with that darker blue. So that looks like the night sky is trying to work its way in just along the top. So, you know, as that sun is setting, the real dark stuff happens. And, you know, you can adjust this. So if you want your whole sunrise to be down here and you want a lot more blue in the sky, you can add a lot more blue and make it darker at the top. But this is like just the start of sunrise. Okay. So now we're going to take that masking magic off. And we've got this nice crisp border that you can stamp on. Love the strips. And that eliminates a whole, the whole need for another layer in there. Plus, if you guys ever think about making postcards where you use our nice heavy base weight white and you do some ink blending on that, and then you just write your message and put a postcard stamp on the other side, something about that white border makes it feel more like a postcard, doesn't it? So that's kind of a fun way to do it. Okay, so that's a second thing that you can do with the Masking Magic strips, create that border. Now, another thing that I love to do with the Masking Magic, and I always had to cut the strips, and now we don't have to anymore. Let me get my blending brushes out of here because they're everywhere. Welcome, everyone. It's great to see you all. So fun to have everybody here. Okay. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use the die set that I showed you earlier, and that's this one. This is Master Layouts 8. But if you don't have Master Layouts 8, don't worry about it. Just find an oval punch in your collection, some kind of oval that you can use. Boy, I put my blending brushes away wrong. So I'm going to use this big oval right here from this die set. And I'm going to create an oval. Okay. Out of my regular Masking Magic. So that's that big sheet I was telling you about. Of course, we have to use some of that in the mix. And where is my big sheet? Here it is. So here's my big sheet of Masking Magic. So I'm going to cut this piece of Masking Magic down to 3 3/4 of an inch on the one side. So it should be 3 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. And it is. You can see that. 5 inches by 3 3/4 of an inch. So that means you have this piece left over that you can use for big wide strips down the center of your card or for something else. This is the regular Masking Magic sheets. Now I'm going to get my die cutting machine. There we go. All right. And I've got ink pads everywhere. We'll do that same blend on this one because I've got all the ink pads out, so why not? Can't hurt to see it again, right? And I'm going to put this oval right in the center of this piece of Masking Magic. Right in the center. I just want it to be fairly straight, but if you feel more comfortable, you could tape it down with a little Masking Magic or with some washi tape, but I think this will be good. So I'm just going to cut it. I'm trying to read your comments as I go. Okay, so this is a great mask to use for something completely different, where you can put this down and do ink blending around it. So that means you would peel this off and have a white oval in the center of your card for stamping. I'm going to save this for later because I'm going to use what's left over. I'm going to use this frame. Okay, so, and I'm going to show you how to do this whole thing. I did something similar in a 5-minute card video, but sometimes it's hard to remember all the videos I've done. So I'll show you this again, just so it reminds you. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4 of an inch. Okay. And then I'm going to place my Masking Magic sheet right over this. Now, the nice thing is, once you pull the backing off of the Masking Magic, it's fairly translucent. So it does make it fairly easy to center your mask that you're creating. Now you say I only pulled half of it off because it can get away from you. It's a little hard to line up if it's just flopping all around. So you see here, I'm looking at the bottom. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but down here at the bottom, you can see through the Masking Magic, and you can see that it's kind of straight, kind of even on the sides. So we're just going to go with that. Let's see here. I think that's pretty even, and I'm going to tack that down like that. And then I'm going to work my way up. Let's see here. Let me try it the other way. It's hard for me to remember which way I do it because I just do it, you know, and when I'm thinking about it, actually, this is going to be so much easier to see. All right, so I can see right through this Masking Magic, and I'm making sure that the borders are even around the top and the sides. And if this gets away from you, you can tape it down. You know what I mean? Like just use an old strip. Let me find an old strip here. I'll get a piece of one of these strips just to hold it into place. There we go. Okay. So now, Masking Magic is great for holding your dies down too. So when you finish up with some strips, keep them and you can use them for holding your dies in place. It'll hold your cardstock in place when you're trying to do something like I'm doing right now. You know, then it won't move around, if that makes sense. Okay, so we'll try this again now. I'm going to just line it up here, get it where I want it. There we go. Now, kind of rolling the mask down And you can see it's fairly even on both sides and even at the top, if you can see through that. Now I can pick the whole thing up. I can get rid of these. I don't need these anymore. And now I can peel the rest of this backing off. And I can continue to roll that down onto my card. Okay. So the only real important spot to have it tight is right around the perimeter of that oval. So you can press right around the perimeter of that. And then the rest is just going to hold your cardstock into place on whatever you're working on. Does that make sense? I hope so. Hello, everyone. I see lots more people joining us. It's great to have you here. We're working with the new Masking Magic strips today. And this is not the strips. This is the actual Masking Magic masking paper. But I'm showing how to make a card with this. Okay, so now we've got our mask in place. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of those 1/2-inch strips. So these are the new 1/2-inch strips. I'm going to pull a 1/2-inch strip off.
Bonnie would like to know why you take the clips off your brushes.
Because I shoot them across the room all the time, Bonnie. I put my finger right on the wrong spot, and when I'm ink blending, I shoot them off like that. So I keep the color clips on so that I can see them quickly when I grab the brush, and then I just put the color clip aside. I probably should put them on the back like this because then I won't have that problem. But I like to see them this way when I'm looking at them in my little brush holder. So it's a me thing. You don't have to take them off. All right, so now I'm going to figure out where I want my greeting to go. And I think I'm going to have it go right here. Okay, so this is where I'm going to have my greeting go. So I'm putting an additional piece of Masking Magic across the center. And that is my strip, my 1/2-inch strip. So now we're going to do the same blend. Since I've got these ink pads sitting out, I might as well do the same blend. So I'm going to start with the Turquoise Sea at the top. Yeah, that's right, Donna. I've shot them as far as where Tom is sitting, so it's kind of a scary thing sometimes. I get a little violent with my clips. All right, so I'm doing the same thing again. I'm working that Turquoise Sea down here. Just like this. Okay, and I'm kind of going in an arch, a little circular kind of thing, but you don't have to. You can go straight across. The sky doesn't really do that, so whatever you do is fine. All right, so I've got my Turquoise Sea there. See how once the smoothing agent kicks into, how beautiful that blend is? Doesn't that look like a sky? I love that. All right, so next we're going to go with some Innocent Pink. Get some Innocent Pink on there. And again, I'm coming in from the side a little bit. Okay. There we go. And then I'm coming back over with that Turquoise Sea a little bit. And then with that purple brush, I'm going to add just a little lilac in there, wild lilac. I really should try some of the new lilacs in there because they're a little more blue. So I'm bringing that Innocent Pink down onto this side of the strip now to get some pink right along that edge. And then I'm going to go in with some Peach Bellini using my orange blending brush and working my way up from the bottom with that peach just to get that sunniness down at the bottom. And then you can go back over it again with your pink to blend that. All right, so now my 1/2-inch strip, I still need it, but I don't need the mask anymore. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. Let me get my Misty. So when I do these kinds of silhouettes, and I do have to get the stamp set. I wasn't prepared for this. Let me find it real quick. Hang in there with me. I didn't look for this earlier. I don't know where the stamps are. Oh, it's probably over here. Hang on. Because I don't put anything away. Do you guys put things away? Because if you do, kudos to you. I didn't put this away last time, so I don't know where it is. So maybe I'll use a different stamp set for it. I was looking for autumn silhouettes, but I think I will use friendly silhouettes for this. Okay, I'm going to use this one. This will work. Okay. Oh, it will work, actually. Because I can use like So Very Thankful in there. That would be really nice. It'll be a thank you card. All right, so when I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this strip. Okay. Gently remove this strip. I'm going to use this again, so don't put it, just stick it somewhere so you can hold on to it. Now I'm going to remove this mask. And again, save these masks. You can use them again. Okay, so there is my oval. Can save the mask. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stamp, my piece of cardstock here in the MISTI. I'm just going to put it anywhere. And I'm going to replace this piece of Masking Magic. It's very easy to see. And then I'm going to use the Masking Magic to hold down that cardstock so it doesn't move when I do my stamping. So now I'm going to just put this right over that, right there, over the whole thing. This will be nice. This wasn't my original intention, but I think it's going to work. Okay. And the reason why I took the oval off is because I want this whole design to extend outside of the oval. I want the I want the whole design to be over the whole thing. Okay. All right, now let me get my black ink pad. And I'm going to ink up this stamp real well with some black onyx. And when I stamp this, I'm going to use my Chucky tool. You can use, your sleeve, whatever you have, but pay particular attention to pressing real close in this area, real hard in this area, because we want that to go right up to the line. And even though Masking Magic isn't super thick, we still want to make sure that we get a good impression around it. Okay. Now I'm going to give it a second coat, just for good measure. Okay. Second coat. And again, making sure that I'm really rubbing across this area because I want all that to be right up to the line. Okay. Now I can remove this. And that creates an opening for my greeting. So I can put my greeting right there. What do I use to hold the magnet? This is just some like purple tape, or you can use painter's tape. And I just wrapped it around the magnet a couple times and I just trimmed it so it gives me a little handle to hold on to. So you can use washi tape for that. You can use purple tape if you have any old purple tape, or you can just use painter's tape, the blue painter's tape. That'll work too. All right, now I'm going to put this into the center, up to the line here, because I'm going to pick a greeting, and it could be happy birthday, it could be so very thankful. Let's see, so very thankful fits in there nicely.
And what stamp set is that again?
This is called Friendly Silhouettes. So if I put so very thankful in here.
Unknown caller.
Tom, you're getting spam everywhere.
Spam Sam.
Okay, so hopefully, now if you weren't with me, I shared a tip, and I know you guys have seen me do it before, but if you're new and you haven't seen it, it is a good tip. If you're not sure if it's going to look good, take your acetate sheet off of your stamp set, pop it right over your piece of cardstock, and then ink up your greeting stamp it onto the acetate. If that looks straight and it looks good to you, then you can remove the acetate and then you can stamp it. That's just a little trick to make sure it looks straight, because it's not always straight. Sometimes I screw up, and gosh, you know, you hate to screw up. But there, that's my greeting. So you can see how nice it is to have that open space in there. And it would be very difficult to do this kind of background without the masking magic and then cutting the strip. Now, yes, you can cut your own strips, but again, having those strips ready to go, it just makes it so easy. And they're always straight. They're always perfect. And that's what I love. So, okay, so this actually can be a card. We'll give this card away. Maybe I should do that something on this too. Should I do the same thing on this one? I don't know if I have. Ooh, how about if we do something like this? We'll get the wings to extend past, because I like that look. I'm just going to make these into cards real fast so we can give them away. So I got 15 minutes, I might as well. So I'm going to turn this into a card for somebody. All right, that's up in that space there.
I noticed you're pretty handy with that, all those kinds of tools that you have, especially the tape.
Especially the what?
The tape.
The tape? Oh, I can sense a word of the day coming.
You make tools out of them. You make your own tools. You fix, I think you fixed the microwave with some of that washi tape the other day, didn't you?
I did.
I guess that makes you a Swiss Army wife. Right?
Yes, I'm a Swiss Army wife. That's a great word of the day. I love that. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. All right. So I'm going to put another butterfly here. Very cute, Tom. See how I'm just extending the wing off onto the white a little bit, and I have to do it on both sides to create balance. So I'm making this into a card too. That's very funny. Word of the day, Swiss Army wife. I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of people watching that are Swiss Army wives, using their stamping tools to fix things around the house. Okay, so I've got two there, and we'll do one more at the top if there's room, and I think there is. We'll do one right here. And get the wings. Maybe I'll just turn it a tiny bit like that. I like them to each be in a little bit of a different position. Let's see. Yeah, the strips are great. And I always made strips with the original Masking Magic. So I'm not saying you can't do that. You absolutely can do that if that's what you have. I'm just saying that if you like doing this kind of thing, and it's so easy if you make a lot of cards like this, and I do. I'm constantly cutting my Masking Magic into strips. And I waste a lot of it because it's not always perfect. So this is a way to have it always be perfect and keep your Masking Magic for the big masks and stuff. Okay, so now I've got my 3 butterflies here, and I just need a tiny little greeting. I don't know that there's a tiny little greeting in this set that would fit, but there might be. Happy birthday. That's kind of big. Hang in there. I'm going to use hang in there because this will be a little card of encouragement. And butterflies, in my opinion, are always very encouraging. And we'll just slip it right in this open space. Of course, it's a great layout for when you have some of those more vertical style greetings and you don't know what to do with them. Okay, I think that'll be good though, right there. That looks pretty straight to me. I'm going to take a chance and not test it on my acetate and just go for it. Okay. And this was the one that had that little goober there, so that's still there. And I'm sorry, whoever gets this card. It's got a goober. I don't know what it is. It touched something in the process of whatever it was doing. So we'll make that panel and this panel here both into cards. Okay. And now I'm going to make a card out of that lattice, but I am going to make that with the new ephemera because I love the new ephemera and I have a bunch of it already cut. So we'll just put this aside for a minute and then we'll layer them all up. So before I get started here, I'm going on my ephemera. I'm going to cut some black cardstock real quick. Again, if I wanted to take my time, I could do this with master layouts too, but I'm going to just cut it. These have to be 3 5/8 of an inch by 4 7/8. Can I whip 3 cards together in 11 minutes? You bet I can. 9 minutes. Oh, gosh. Boy, 2 minutes of my life just flashed before my eyes. Because I'm bad at math, and it was, I don't know, I'm bad at math. Math is not my thing. That's why, Tom, you do all the accounting, and I just create the stuff. Works out well, right?
Sometimes.
So let's just pop these cards together real quick here. We'll do this, like this. One of the benefits, you can see it's not a perfect cut because I didn't use the master layouts, but it's pretty close and it's better than horrible. Which, again, when that's your standard, I love Masking Magic strips. So yeah, they are in the What's New category, but they're also, I linked it here in the video, so you'll be able to find it quickly if you're interested in them. And if not, you know they're going to be there. Well, I hope they're going to be there. You know how things sell quickly. Okay, so let's get some card bases for this. These cards. How do I memorize the size cutting? You know, it's because I do my cards, I just do the same sizes all the time because I love the layout. So I use 2 measurements. I use the same measurements as Master Layouts 1 and the Master Layouts 2. They are my favorite ways to make A2 cards. And so I've kind of memorized it after all these years. But if you can't memorize it and you have the Master Layouts 1, Master Layouts 2, you just look on the package because all of the sizes are listed right on the package. All right, I need my score buddy. And I'm going to use white card bases for this. I know I didn't give you guys a choice today, but I think that they'll be really pretty with white.
Do we still have the pre-cut cardstock?
I believe we don't have the pre-cut cardstock in colors anymore, but I believe they're putting the white heavy base weight back in stock soon.
Okay. Charlotte asks, is the layering weight pre-cut cardstock on your website the same as the cardstock you have been ink blending on?
No. Right now, the layering, the half sheets are our artist choice cardstock, which is great for coloring. It's got more of a tooth. It's not as smooth. So it doesn't work the same way for ink blending. For ink blending, I highly suggest you pick up our layering white cardstock. If you type into the search bar at Gina K Designs, layering white, you will get, it'll just be a square of white and it'll just say white on it. And that is what you want, the layering weight white. All right, so those 2 cards, bing, bing, done, done. Half-inch strips, quarter-inch strips. Now this one, we're going to do a little fancy pants design.
You are cranking them out today.
I know, right? 3 cards in an hour with all Masking Magic techniques. I love this background. This is like my favorite thing. Lattice is just so great for behind flowers and anything nature, leaves, anything. It's just gives it that real nice autumny feel to it. Or Springfield too.
What brand paper cutter did you use?
That's the We Are Memory Keepers paper cutter, and we've got those on our website. Okay, let me grab from my stash. See these? I cut tons of ovals from our double-stitched ovals and our single-stitched ovals, so I always have them to grab. These are the things I do when I don't know what to do. So I'm going to take a black one and a white one. This is the double-stitched. This is the single-stitched, and together you get that cute little shadow layer. So I'm going to do that. We do have a Lattice embossing folder too, which is fun. Alrighty. And then I think I'll pop that there. Now let's get some of this ephemera out. I've got so much of it here. This is my kit, and my ephemera is all just strewn about in here. So I haven't used this flower yet. I'm just going to pick some things out of here that would be pretty. This feels like such a pretty fall flower. I like that. And like that. Let's see what else I have. There's so many options here. That's pretty. Ooh, look at these. These would be really pretty coming out, like just these kind of oak leaves. They're not oak leaves, they're maple leaves. I don't even know my leaves. Why do I even talk? Honestly, I don't know that I want to use these in this. I think I'm going to use more brownish colored leaves to kind of play off of that. I really should figure out what I'm going to do with my greeting, though, before I get this far into it. I need like a greeting that will fit right there. Although, if I fill this all up with leaves. Oh, that's so pretty. Gotta have something coming out on this side. We need 2 of those. I've cut so many. Oh, look at that one. Should that come out over here? I don't know if I like this as much as I thought I was going to. I think maybe this would be better. I need a second leaf there, though. You get so much ephemera in this kit. Honestly, if you haven't gotten this kit yet, it's so much fun to play with. The kit is the bomb. All right, so I'm going to think about what I want to put as my greeting here. So I can move the whole thing down in the center, and I can stamp my greeting right in there. So let me grab some of my little mini sets that I love using for greetings. Oh, wow. This is nice. Your kindness means so much. I'd have to move this flower over to make that happen. Your kindness means so much. Nope, not going to do that one. Give me a minute. Got to figure it out here. Look at these tiny little greetings are perfect. This is the layered carnation. Thinking about you brightens my day. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. Those are cute. I don't put any of my stamps away like I should. I do have some of them put away, though. Let me get my mini stamp sets out. This is what I store them in, this little refrigerator bin. And I have them all kind of, oh, look at that. You make me so happy. That would be pretty. These little mini stamp sets, and most of them you get with your order, when you place an order. And the greetings in these are just so perfect for this kind of thing. So grateful to have you, a friend like you. Let's use this. This is a happy hello. I'm going to use this stamp set. And move that out of the way. I'm going to move all of this out of the way. And then we're going to reconfigure the layout because I like this greeting. So I always say, do your greeting first before you commit to a layout, because then you can work your layout around it. So I'm just putting a little tape on the back of this oval, and I'm just going to stick it right to my Misty. I know it's 1 o'clock, but I'll be done in like a minute here. I'm a minute away, Tom. Don't time me, but I'm a minute away. So grateful for all you do. So grateful to have a friend like you. I'm going to put this right at the bottom here. Okay. All right. Now, before I commit, I am going to stamp this on the acetate sheet just to make sure it looks straight. So I'll grab the little acetate sheet from this stamp set and I'll just put it right there. And then, oh my gosh, where did my black ink go? Here it is. I want to make sure it looks straight. So grateful to have a friend. That does look pretty straight. All right, we're doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. It's pretty straight. I could probably tweak it a little, but I think it's going to be good. And I'm going to stamp it twice. Okay, there we go. I'll put this away for now. Got a lot of cleanup later, that's for sure. So this can go right in the center here of my card. I appreciate you guys coming in on your lunch hour and spending time with me, and then I go over. Okay. And we'll get that right in the center. So grateful to have a friend like you. I could have used a bigger oval for this, but I didn't want to, like, I wanted to be able to see the lattice, right? So you want to keep that going. So if we put one here, maybe we'll just do one. And we'll do some greenery around it. Because sometimes one is all you need. Get it to come off a little bit there. I've determined that it's my dry hands that make everything stick to me. I need to work on that. I feel like we need 2 flowers at least. So if we move that up there and we pop another flower down here, I feel like it's going to be better. And I know they say to do 3s, but I've got so much going on here that I think it's going to be okay. So I'll spread it out a little bit. I'm going to put this in here like this. So we've got something coming off the side there. And we'll get these 2. This ephemera is so fun. And you can focus on some of the fun things like making backgrounds and stuff like that. And you've got all these bits and pieces ready to go for your cards. So we'll do those there. And then we'll slip that under there. Maybe I just want to take one more peek at the other ephemera here to see if there's something maybe a little better that we can add. I'm going to look at this one more time. That's pretty, but I think it needs to be bigger. So maybe we'll just duplicate this one. A little more green on this side. Oh yeah, there it is. You know how you know when you know? You guys know. I know y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. You know when it's right. You just know. Okay. And then we'll take this one down up here like that. And then we'll pop that one up with a little foam tape. You just know. Okay, somebody's asking me about Christmas. Are we having a Christmas release? You bet we are. Was that the question? You'll have to see, Tom, because I just saw it fly by like 20 miles an hour.
Will you do Christmas or winter ephemera?
Oh, yes. I'm going to say yes to that. All right, so there's that finished card. That turned out pretty good, right? After a lot of hemming and hawing. Okay, so now we've got these 3 cards that show off the masking magic, and I think it's time to give them away, Tom.
Yes.
I used 4 minutes instead of 1 minute, so I apologize, but wasn't right until it was right, you know?
Here we go.
Okay, so let's give away this one first.
So very thankful to Shirley LeBlanc. Shirley
Hey,
LeBlanc.
Shirley, you got this card coming, Shirley. Congratulations. All right. No drum roll, Tom?
Oh, I did the drum roll.
Oh, okay. All right. And now the butterfly, the hang in there card, the card of encouragement.
Hang in there. Pam Sosnowski.
Pam. Congratulations, Pam. Woohoo. All right. And then the final card, the Autumn Ephemera Lattice card.
The autumn. Sneak it in on the end. Lattice card goes to Lisa Greder. Lisa Greder.
Congratulations, Lisa. All right, ladies, just send your name and address to info@GinaKDesigns.com and tell them which card you won, either the So Very Thankful, the Hang in There, or the Autumn Ephemera card, and I will get those out to you. All right, everybody. Well, it was so much fun to be with you today. I'm going to do my best to get a 5-minute card video up. I'm hoping to get that up tomorrow. If not, you may see it appear on Saturday. We'll see what happens. And then Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with another Stampin' Chat Live. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. We love you all so very, very, very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Mwah. Bye-bye.